Welcome back to Big Mama's house, y'all. It is a beautiful, warm Friday evening here in the Midwest, and Papa and I have just gotten home from our date night, which we have been trying to do.
Papa be in the house.
Yes, he is. Trying to take more time for us now that our kids are adults and we're very hankering towards middle age here. And, we don't want to drift apart. It's important to us that we stay as madly in love as we always have been.
Yeah.
But I haven't been feeling well the last little bit. So we kind of didn't get to discuss Memorial Day. So I don't want to forget that or omit that at all. And a lot of people don't even know what it's for. And it is a day of remembrance and to honor the people who have served, fought, and or died for this country, as a day to honor them. And I think that's great. I shout out to all of our military people out there. God bless you. But we both have military members in our family. And so I want to let Papa discuss his side of the family and that where their military service comes in.
Yeah, my grandfather, which was on my mom's side of the family, right? He was actually in World War One. All right.
Two.
Oh, sorry, two. World War II. Sorry.
It's okay.
Too many World Wars.
Right.
And he was in two, and he was actually a POW. And what happened was he was in a bunker. They threw a grenade in the bunker, and it was a dud, which was really
Thank God.
Yes, because
you guys wouldn't exist.
we would not exist exactly. We wouldn't be here this side of the family. We might be I might be somebody else, but it won't be me.
I would
I am
hope.
today, yes. So, but everything would be different.
Very. Oh my gosh.
But he was, I can just imagine he was probably tortured. He didn't actually like to talk about it, so we never did. So I never got his experience.
Yeah, because God only knows what happened, what they put him through and all. I mean, I don't want to imagine, because I only got to meet your granddad a couple of times before he passed, but he just seemed very gentle and sweet and quiet and
He was.
really sad. I know he was really, really sad and depressed after your gram died.
And we were really close my whole life.
Yeah.
Me and my pap and my grandma. We're always close. They always watched us in the summertime. We'd have school. And mom and dad worked, so they always watched me and my brother all summer. And and then even when during school, they watched us too, like after school. But yeah, we were just really close. But then my dad, he actually wanted to be in the armed forces. I think it was the Navy. But he actually got into a really bad accident at 16, and he couldn't do anything like that.
Right. Yeah, he was very seriously injured.
Yes. So that's as far as the military goes. That's as far as my family went. But I know that you have a lot more experience in your family as far as military.
Yeah, my grandfather on my dad's side was also in World War II.
They might have known each other.
Maybe, you never know. And he was in Germany, I know. And I know that they were in charge of blowing up bridges and things to stop shipments getting to the opposite forces.
The opposing team.
Yeah. He liked telling war stories. He didn't have, the experience was hard, obviously, but he didn't have the horrific experience like your granddad probably did.
Yeah. Which is good.
Yeah. And then my dad was also in the military, in the Army. My uncle, it was in the Navy. My younger brother was in the Marines. And my brother-in-law was in the Army. He was disabled in the line of duty. He was shot. I'm not real sure on my mom's side, but I know I don't think there's any military members in the immediate mom's side.
Just
But
like my dad's side, I don't know.
yeah. But yeah, and so to me, the military matters, and not the military itself, like the upper echelons, you know what I mean? I think the decisions that are made are terrible a lot of the time in the higher offices that may put these men and women in harm's way.
Or Secretary of Defense, stuff like that.
President, yeah, although not naming names, but just saying, and I just, the people who are just trying to keep us safe and do their job and, make the world a little bit better, those are the people that I root for and firmly believe a little bit of politics in here. Okay.
There's politics and everything.
Yes. And that, if you're going to have wars and you're going to expect your citizens to fight for you, then you need to have the resources to take care of them when they get home.
Exactly.
And if you don't, you need to step back and reconsider your priorities. And that's just my opinion. I'm off my soapbox for now. We'll talk more about that later, I am sure.
No, I mean, that's a big thing.
It's huge.
I mean, our country, the people that get abused the most are veterans.
I can tell you story after story after story of the VA issues that my dad and uncle and my brother and brother-in-law have been through. My grandpa, I know there was a horrible story about when they let his appendix burst at the VA hospital. I could go on for days about the VA and our vets.
And not just that, but a lot of them are homeless.
Because they come back with mental problems like PTSD and traumatic brain injury, and those things don't always show up immediately. All kinds of horrible things, yes. And they don't have the facilities and the resources to take care of all of them. There are waiting lists years long to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a counselor. And that's not right in any realm of the imagination. So I know you and I agree on this, Papa. And I hope most of you out there, I hope you all agree, because it's only right to take care of the people who take care of us. Okay. Anyway.
Without them, we wouldn't have the freedoms we have today.
Exactly. And we might be speaking Chinese or Russian or Korean or God only knows.
Whatever the British speak, what is that? English?
I like that though. I love that British accent.
Yeah,
I have a thing about that. But okay, lighter little time here. Date night.
Mm-hmm.
It was really nice. This weekend is a fair that happens every year in our area, and they have rides.
County fair, not a state fair. County fair.
Yeah, it's a small town fair.
Like carnival.
It's on Main Street. Okay, that's how we live in small town America.
Pigs and horses.
Right. And cows.
Some sheep.
We have a lot of cows around here. But at this fair, they have rides and games and like food trucks and like local people with vendors who sell homemade things, crafts or clothes or trinkets or whatever.
Rides.
I said rides.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think I did. Maybe I didn't.
Probably didn't. I don't know.
Okay, we may have had a couple of drinks. Ignore us if we're just a little bit off tonight. Bear with us.
I'm just drinking tea and orange flavored water.
Fibber. You're half fibbing. How's that?
Okay, there you go.
Okay. But we went to the parade beforehand. Okay. And I love parades. I don't care what they're for. I think they're awesome. I've always been a huge fan. The band and all the little homemade floats.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Yes.
You said you love all parades, right? What if there's a parade of clowns? Would you like that?
You're mean. And I might not finish this podcast with you now because you know how I feel about clowns.
Well, you should let the world know how you feel about clowns. We invite everybody in
with clowns on my phone, on the TV, on a picture. But when it's in real life and it's in my immediate vicinity, I do tend to freak out a bit. And you tend to make fun of me and make the clowns come near me just to piss me off.
Just circus clowns. Now, if we go to a haunted house or something and there's crazy, scary clowns, that's a different story.
You'd probably have them chasing me with a chainsaw just so you could laugh.
Maybe.
That's the kind of marriage we have. Anyway, so the parade, I love them. You're not such a fan because you don't like crowds.
Exactly.
They cause you great anxiety and you just need to escape.
That's why we do podcasts at the kitchen table.
Right, exactly. And few people. But during the parade, they throw candy and people are doing advertisements for their local business, their float, and they're handing out flyers or door hangers or cup cozies or inflatable balls or
we see tonight.
That's what I'm counting all the things I remember, like little bags of items with their information printed on it.
Little kids from children in the corner around us.
Stop. They were adorable. But every single person went to the person next to us, the person on the other side of us. And by the way, when I add this part, I was in my wheelchair because it was a long way to walk from where we had to park. And so Papa pushed me in the wheelchair because I'm not able to walk that far or stand.
Yes.
For long periods anyway. I can
stone with it.
Yeah, I can stand, but I can walk, but not for long periods.
Yeah, not for a parade period. Put that way.
Exactly. So we just made it easy on ourselves, and he pushed me in the chair. But I was like, their eyes glazed over me, like I didn't even exist. And I didn't think anything of it the first half of the parade, but then it happened time after time after time. And I looked at him and I said, did I die and I'm a ghost and I really don't know that I'm dead and that nobody can see me?
And I replied with, no, they just don't like handicapped people in this area.
And that's the only thing I could think of. And the only person in the entire, it was a good 30, 40.
Two people.
Who's the second one?
We'll start with the first one, with the handicapped.
A lady came up to me handing out these little bags with information about a handicapped assisting place. And don't get me wrong, I think that's wonderful. I appreciated the fact that, hey, obviously I'm in a wheelchair. I have a disability. Maybe I can help her. I appreciate that. Who was the second one?
It was I don't really want to say it. It was a conservative group in the area.
Oh my gosh. Why don't we consider that being approached by? Because
She approached
So a lady wearing a t-shirt with the name of a local conservative.
It was a group. It was a conservative.
It was a group.
It was, town conservative group.
And I looked at her and I smiled because I tend to smile at people who are in parades. And I even wave at them, because they're waving to you. But then I read her t-shirt and and it was just an instinct. It wasn't even a thought about it. I immediately started shaking my head no. And I actually said the word no out loud. Okay.
She listened. She veered left.
And the lady veered away from me like there was a force field. And Papa leans down and he goes, were you shaking your head at her? And I said, I was, but I didn't really mean to. And he goes, and did you say no? And I was like, yeah, I did. And it was just my gut instinct reaction.
It was the funniest part of the night.
And I felt bad afterwards because that was incredibly rude. But it was just my face. You know my face. I can't hide.
I don't consider it rude.
Okay, tell me why.
Okay, because we know in this area what they stand for. Okay, we don't stand for that. Okay, we don't have the same beliefs and morals as they do.
Yes.
Okay? So it was my opinion. No, it was not rude because they would have done the same thing.
True.
Now I'm not saying all Republicans or conservatives are that way, but all of
in this area,
are.
It's really bad.
Yes.
They're racist and sexist.
So when Mama shook her head no and yelled no, well, not yelled, but, said it loud enough for her to hear, or for me to hear, who needs hearing aids, who was standing behind her.
I think what I said was, oh, no. And I think that's what I said, but I don't think
Either way, you said no.
I did. And I am not a rude person, you guys, but it just... And he started laughing. He's like, you said no. And I was like, yeah. And he's just busted up laughing.
It was funny. And that was the best part of the whole parade for me.
Well.
No, don't get me wrong. I did enjoy the parade. I did. I enjoyed the Clydesdales that were there.
All the dogs.
I enjoyed it. But I kind of wish the Clydesdales were pulling the Budweiser wagon. But you're not going to have that in this town.
No.
Anyway. But... I enjoyed all the band, even the school band that our Lizard used to be part of.
Yep.
I enjoyed that too,
And we hate the teacher, but I root for the kids because we know how long and hard.
I hate the teacher.
Yes, I do. He did our kid wrong, and I will hate him forever, and that's just how moms work.
Okay. Yeah, he did not handle mental illness well.
No, he was the worst about it.
Yeah. And she looked up to him big time.
He was her one and only for the longest time.
Yeah.
She adored him, and then he just completely crushed her.
And then she stopped playing band.
Yeah, and just ruined her. She hasn't played her trumpet since.
Sorry, it's just how we are. We just ran along.
We were at our kitchen table
Yeah.
talking to each other and talking to you so that you know maybe you've never lived in small town America. Maybe you grew up in a big city and that's where you always lived. And so our life here, you're like, what the hell? I only thought that existed like in movies, like Lifetime movies.
If they go to a small town fair here, if you're from a city,
Yes.
okay, say you're from New York City, for example, and you go and you're coming to Midwest, right, and you're going to a small town fair. I'm not talking about the carnival we had tonight. I'm talking about a county fair.
Our town, I think, it has like what 12,000 people in the population of our town.
Yeah.
So it's not a big town, you guys. We don't live in a big area.
But in our fair that
Yes.
we have here, all right. When I used to have this job, I had to stand there at this fair, and this fair. Now the carnival that we have is way better than what the fair we have, because the fair, all they have is like sheep, horse, cow shows.
Yes.
Okay, auctions.
Yeah, that's the county fair.
That's the county fair. Yeah.
Yes.
They might have like a Larry the Cable Guy type like performer.
Not even, but nobody famous.
No. But somebody who thinks.
And it's always a local band.
Yeah.
The same local band that plays everywhere.
So it's not like they're gonna have REO Speedwagon or.
So they charge you like $15 to walk in, and then every single thing in there except for the animal show,
You gotta pay for it.
you have to pay for it. Like they have like car races or drag races or something in there.
Yeah.
And if they have a concert or something, you got to pay for that. If they have rides, you got to pay a buttload for those.
It's not like Six Flags, or like
Knobles.
or Disney, where
Disney.
if you pay to get in, everything's included except for your food and souvenirs.
Right.
Everything else is included with the admission.
Mhm.
Right. Not the fair.
No, it's pay per.
In fact, the fair we went to last year in Pennsylvania is way better than one we have here.
Oh yeah, it was huge.
Yeah. And there's more to do than just auction off cow.
But they did have really cute animal shows. I loved walking through the big barns with all the
And the
different
dog
animals.
shows.
Yes,
Yeah.
everything is so. And the bunnies. I love the
fair
bunnies.
is, in my opinion, the best fair, bar none, in the country. My opinion.
But that's the only county fair you've ever been to,
Well, that's not a county fair.
or state fair. Is that state fair?
I guess you consider it. I mean, they have hundreds of thousands of people that go there. Okay.
This would be like a state fair.
They have that state has other fairs. It's not like the only fair they have in a state.
No, but I'm saying it's like a state fair.
It is. It's that area's fair. It's 150 years old. Okay, it's been around a long time. So it's
But, okay,
and it gets built up every year.
in our defense though, you guys have tractor races. What the hell? Tractors?
I know. Don't get me involved in that. I'm not.
I'm just saying, we may have cows and sheep, but you guys have tractor
You have
races.
sheep races.
No, we don't. Stop.
You should.
Ha,
But
that would make it interesting.
but yeah, we have. That's a good one. A good one, Lizard. Yeah, join the cast.
You want to come in?
I was just saying that
Lizard's walking by. She got comments.
we got
Start the guest.
we got a tractor show. That was the whole thing that they were talking about.
A tractor show?
Yeah, they showed off tractors.
Oh, it's like a car show where you're parked at some restaurant, and then you go around looking at it with the tractor.
What?
Yeah,
Okay, I've grown up in
This is
small
supposed to
towns
be-
my whole life, and what the hell?
it's supposed to be a country town fair thing. So, I remember previous years they had like old car shows too, where they would just have like old antique cars, and they would go in the parade and stuff.
They have those here a couple times a year.
Yeah, well, they have those at another little county fair south of us.
I didn't know they do that during. No, I don't think they do it during homecoming. I only ever seen it during like the county stuff, the country.
And the
kind of-
Shriners here. They were here.
Yes, I love the
We actually
Shriners.
saw them and their little like little wagon thing when we were coming back with food and stuff. They were at the stoplight.
They were lining up, getting ready to line up.
by the old Family Video and stuff.
Yeah.
You could say
Family Video's out of business, so we can say Family Video because there's a Family Video everywhere in the Midwest.
And there's MP Family Videos everywhere in the U.S. I think the only one around still is in Alaska.
That's
You need to go to
random.
that one.
But you've
Alaska.
been to parades and events with me when I've had to be in my wheelchair.
Yeah,
You see how people act like I don't even exist.
right. They let their kids like even like up to like teenagers just go in front of you and block your entire view. Me and my sister have had to yell at people just to get out of your way. so you can see. Like it's like small children is fine.
Yeah, I had no problem. Like there was some kids around us today, and they were totally respectful. They'd go get the candy, and they would move back.
Also, like they're smaller. Like you can see over them in the
Right.
wheelchair. But then like full-grown adults are going in front of you because they're trying to get the whatever prize, whatever they're throwing out from the floats, and it's like move, stop being a dick.
Exactly. Thank
Yeah,
you.
That's right.
But it happens everywhere we go
happens
when I'm in
everywhere.
the chair.
But
They
the-
will walk right in front of me and stop.
The same thing, I believe, happened at Disney World.
It did, and I made me run over your dang foot.
Yeah, we were mad. We weren't taking that.
Last time we went to one of the pro, me and her actually were yelling at people, and they look behind us like we were the issue. Like, dude, you're in the road of a parade, blocking a woman in her wheelchair. Get out of the road. Like we were literally on the front sidewalk part.
Yeah, we were like right in front of the curb, and they kept moving me up till I was like literally on the edge of the road because they would just come and stand in front of me.
What I should have done was just pushed you up the route. And people
Right, be like,
yeah.
Well, we were part of the parade last year,
Oh.
but yeah, that
Sure,
that
remember that. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, going.
and it was
Chef
for
dinner.
our gay pride, gay support, not just gay, but the LGBTQA.
Yeah, we had pride flags that I made and everything, and we had our different group members. They had their pride colors on, and I had a whole.
We decorated the
I had
car.
the whole gay cape thing. I had a rainbow cape that I would just fly around in. I couldn't do that this year.
You weren't really flying.
No,
Okay.
I was running around.
She literally ran the entire parade route
I could not do that this
from
year.
side to side. It was awesome.
I don't think I've been able to run in like 6 months.
I don't
with my
think you would
knees.
be able to walk that far, right?
I don't think so.
You've been sitting in your mom's lap in a wheelchair.
I was
Right?
sitting on the curb.
Like Disney.
Yep, like Disney. But she wouldn't complain because it wasn't cold.
No, it was lovely actually.
Yeah, it
I
was
think
hot. It was hot.
on the right side of me got a little bit sunburnt because that was the side that was facing the sun.
But if you're one of those people that disrespect disabled people, shame on you. Get
Thank
over
you.
yourself.
Thank you, love.
You're welcome.
I mean, because it sucks and it's embarrassing that like my family has to like battle for me every time we go somewhere, and I have to use the chair, and it's it's embarrassing to me, and it makes me feel bad that you guys that we as a family can't go somewhere with me when I have to use my wheelchair and not feel like it's gonna be an issue at some point. And I feel like it's gonna be an issue at some point every time, which is why I'm usually like, oh no, you guys go, I'll stay here.
Now you're gonna get a motorized wheelchair and you're gonna run over their toes.
The deal was always either two issues. One, it's not. They say it's accessible, but it's not much.
Right.
Like it's all. Like every time we go somewhere, it's there's bumps in the road or cracks, and they don't realize how harder that is for a wheelchair.
The day wasn't bad.
No, they repaved all the roads there. It was really nice. It was pretty smooth.
But no, I've seen issues with it just on like on sidewalks going into like the buildings.
Oh yeah. Well, thankfully our town, I will give them props, are putting money into the infrastructure and redoing and adding a lot of the sidewalks
Yeah,
in
we saw
town.
tonight. Yeah.
How many sidewalks there are now, but they're still not really handicapped accessible because every 10 feet they have that big dip for someone's driveway. And you know you think, oh, it's smooth and it's just a little dip. When you're in the wheelchair or you're the one pushing it, that is hard.
Yeah, because you might not get over the depth right away.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes
Depending on the wheelchair.
your feet of the wheelchair where your feet sit, they like scrape and hit and you get stuck and you almost go flying face first onto the pavement.
And one little last thing about the little fair we have here,
Yes.
right? They really need to make more roads accessible to get around it.
Yeah, I didn't know we were going to get home. We had to go in a part of town we've never been in.
She complains a lot the fact like she hates the town fair just for the fact that one, she's not really big into going anymore ever since we like got older, but also a lot of people from out of town will go there, and there
Yes.
not a lot of parking
No.
for all those people.
Oh, you didn't see it this year. They had every road that you would normally be able to turn and park like 3 or 4 blocks up from it.
Yeah.
Blocked off. And
Every one of them were blocked off for like, what, 5 blocks up? You couldn't.
I had to keep driving away from it, right? Just to get a road to go
To it.
Yeah.
And I've heard people complain who actually live right there about how much of a nuisance it is. Like,
Oh,
people throw trash in their yards. Like,
Oh,
it
yeah,
even
people are
gets to
stupid.
their houses most of the time.
we were talking about that just tonight, that some people just go away this weekend because they don't want to deal with the people and the noise and the loud music and people parking and blocking their driveway or whatever.
And people wonder, like, why there's so many more signs of saying you're under surveillance of people's yards. Because some of the people would go to the local lake area and they'll have like a camera saying, if you basically saying, hey, you're under surveillance. If you throw trash and mess up my yard, I will immediately report the police.
Well, that's good because people shouldn't litter
If you're
and
not
ruin
under
it,
surveillance, at least have a sign out.
And people say like, oh, this is
right?
the kids having fun. But, like, there's a bunch of trash, beer bottles. They had that last year. They had a whole section for 21 and over. It happened in the past few years, where if you were under 21, you couldn't get in that area because it was strictly just for drinking.
Yeah,
We,
it's called a beer garden.
Well,
see,
it's
we
right there.
didn't go down that far tonight, so we didn't know.
No, we only
That
did the
was
little
really bad.
booth.
It was
Yeah.
really bad by the food area.
And people, and it's not just for like when I was a kid, that wasn't there. It was more for, families, kids. But now it's
Oh no, you just didn't notice it. Their beer
Yeah.
garden's always been there.
Is that,
always been
well,
done.
Always.
year they took it down to the
Other end.
local park.
Yeah,
It's not has not even extended into the
but
You know,
that didn't work, so they brought it right back.
yeah.
I never noticed.
Well, no, because you're a kid and we don't drink when we're out with our children.
But
You know,
really, it's feeling,
Anymore.
it's feeling more.
Stop.
It's more of an issue these past few years. I'm like, that's because people just became more ignorant, I think.
But as far I mean, I love the parade. Back to the parade. I love the parade. It was fun. They had some pretty cool things to look at.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
I was,
Um,
well, for like most of the high school, I was part of the parade, so
Yeah.
I wasn't able to watch from an outside view.
Which is why I don't understand why you don't want to go now.
Maybe because it's less, more of less of a novelty because I've been in it.
Maybe. I mean, I've been in a lot of parades too, but I love parades.
Well, I was in marching band, so I had to hold up my trumpet for the good time marching there. And plus having to memorize those tunes and all the hours put in. It becomes also a novelty when you have to do so much to build up.
and they played the same song, and they did.
It's the same song.
Yeah, everything.
I know the tuba dance by heart.
Well, and remember, this was right after they had the freshman band camp,
Yeah.
getting them just to where they're,
Yes.
and you could tell who the freshmen were because didn't have a uniform
Well,
yet.
yeah, and Country Days was always you had
No, they were all in uniform except the freshmen. And you could tell they were freshmen because they'd look like babies.
well they aren't freshmen yet.
That's true. They're 8th grade going to 9th grade.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
we get
Yeah.
we got the option to either do Country Days or to do the county fair, whatever we want to call this.
We just call it the local fair.
Honestly, it's like the town county fair because of how big it is.
I think it's better than the county fair.
Street cred. That's what it is.
I mean, here's the thing. It's a good time. It was free to go sit on the sidewalk and watch the fun stuff.
Free to go walk around at the.
We pushed me around. We looked at the different booths that had stuff to sell.
Not many.
We kind
Not
of,
tonight anyway. Maybe tomorrow and Sunday.
no, that's all they ever have. It's the same ones that are always
I
there.
didn't see the place they used to work at. They do that too.
They do change day to day. Some people who are there will be there Friday. It's not there the next day.
And we're also, me and Mama were talking about maybe doing a podcast next year from that same place. So
And interviewing people and on the fly, just seeing what people thought of the fair.
Mama on the street.
What they would like different. And then maybe because next year's election year, talk a little bit about who's voting for who and why. So if that's something that you guys might be interested in hearing about, that, let us know. We're happy for comments or suggestions.
Yep. We always love the comments and suggestions. We haven't had many.
Not yet, but we're just getting started, and hopefully you guys will learn to love us as we will learn to love all of you. All right, well, I think that's it for Friday Night Madness here at our house.
An impromptu visitor.
Yes, thank you
Special
for
guest, the lizard.
swinging by, Lizard.
Lizard. Yay!
Yay! All right, y'all, come on back down to Big Mama's house next time, and we'll have some more chats.
Bye.
Bye.